Evening all. Now, well, I think we're live. It's really so. Hopefully you're all there. Yeah, I can see some names. Enric, Alan Wood. Hi, Alan. Mr. Pipe. Yeah, how are you doing? Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm afraid the last name at the bottom of my list. I don't even know what language that is in, and my pronunciation is terrible. So I'm just going to say, welcome to all. I've got a feeling we've got a really iffy connection tonight. Maybe you'll let me know, because watching me at your end, it's really shaky and iffy. So, yeah. So what's new? Well, I'm short of staff here at work, so there's not been a lot of stuff happening on the dyno, but the second of the two cross flows has come off and now gone. Well, it's not gone, it's sitting in a workshop ready to be connected. So hello to the Netherlands. Yes. And this week I've been running another Pinto on the dyno. Andy Pipe says it's like watching a Bruce Lee film. Yeah, I don't know why that is. I normally have a really good connection. Obviously today, I don't know what's up. Maybe the internet's broken. It's not raining, but over here we're on fibre broadband. I would, as is usual, if you've seen some of the shorts, I've got a 2-litre Pinto on the dyno, set of IDFs, Group 1 airbox, and a Group 1 exhaust manifold. Not a mad engine. Newman 4.75 cam. Some big inlet valves, some very basic port into an injection head. We've got 11-to-1 compression. We've got Cosworth rods and a set of forged pistons to make it strong, so that the owner can rev it hard if it needs to. Now, this was an engine I built years ago, long before I ever had this dyno, and the owner said to me he wanted 170 horsepower. And at the time I built it thinking, I think this will make 170. As it happens, we just about did. I think with no airbox on it, we did 173 going to 174. It would have probably made more if we put longer ram pipes on it. But in preparation for the airbox, I didn't. I just stuck with some very short ram pipes. And with airbox on, we made 168, 169. And on one glorious run, we did hundreds. But then I do remember running home from school with a copy of one of the car magazines. And the headline article in this car magazine was one from David Vizard saying how to build a 170 horsepower Pinto. And this was big stuff. So now 170 horsepower seems to be a walk in the park. But yeah, back then that was big numbers. And they're still not bad numbers now, you know. They only make 100 horsepower if you're lucky, your standard. So that's good. Yeah, and I thought you guys can join in. Hopefully you can hear me all right, because whether you can see me seems a bit hit and miss. I do love the Bruce Lee comment. Yeah, so maybe someone will tell me whether you can actually hear me, or whether I'm just like in slow motion as I am at this end. But hey, if you don't want to tell me, no problem. So I've done a few engines lately, and I've used okay, cool, good. Yeah, thanks guys. Right, I've done a few engines lately, and compared to what everyone else uses, everything's on very small carburetor chokes. You know, everyone wants to tune a mile 1600 crossflow. They're going, oh, you've got to use 32, 33, 34 mil chokes. And you don't. You know, there's always the exceptions to the rule. Andy Pipe's in the room. His old 1600 race crossflow used to run something like 50 DCO carb. So 50 is on a crossflow, and that probably had 40 or 42 mil chokes. But that would have been an extreme case where every last scrap of power at real high RPM is what you want. Now, I was talking to another tuner recently, a guy that builds a lot of twin cams. In fact, I seal most of his engines for him. And one of the guys, he was talking about much different to 33. And I said to Lewis, I said, okay, so theoretically, a 34 mil choke is poor in terms of performance. How much power do you gain by going that horsepower? And this is on a twin cam that's up somewhere near 180 horsepower. So if going from a 33 to a 34 millimeter choke is only worth 1 horsepower on a 180 horsepower race engine, then putting 33s or 34s on a road going fast road engine is pointless. All you're going to do is trash all the flexibility and drivability low down. Rob 2RS pipework ID for the Pinto manifolds head to exhaust. Rob, what are we talking about? Are we talking about the Group 1 stuff or Pinto manifolds in general? Thomas says 1.6 head on 2 litre Pinto. Can you fit big enough valves in the 1.6? Yes, you can. No. Right. DB 1980 says, just know about another topic, the 2 litre double over cam 8 valve. Why is it not much used in tuning? Too weak internally? Well, from memory, from I think there's enough other engines that are developed make horsepower for it to really be used much. I think some of the oval racers and some of the banger boys like that engine, particularly in 2.34, because I think it's quite talky. SW says, would I say the Pinto is cost effective to build in 2025 for folk racing, opposite to buy in a 2.3 Duratec for Mazda and run it as it is?